Here we go.
Jeffrey.
Hello, Allison.
It's been a while.
It has been a while, indeed.
I feel
I would go back to TV. Honest to God, I wouldn't. I'd lean into it. I'd start like a Pornhub show or some shit. I'd let people watch me masturbate. He's gonna try to have a career again after that. I wouldn't do it. That face. This is his first time back on camera in what? 6 months? 8 months? Something like that.
like we should address.
Tones, I don't know what you're talking about. This is my candy. This is fucking shit. I am.
What's happened in the months since we've seen you, since some of our viewers may not know what has happened.
No, we all know. We all fucking know.
I guess I'll recap. I'll do the honors.
Oh, wow.
Help yourself.
Okay. In October, you were on a Zoom call with your colleagues from the New Yorker magazine. Everyone took a break for several minutes, during which time you were caught masturbating on camera. You were subsequently fired from that job after 27 years of working there. And you, since then, have been on leave from CNN. Do I have all that right?
You got it all right. Sad to say.
Okay. So, to quote Jay Leno, what the hell were you thinking?
Well, obviously, I wasn't thinking very well or very much, and it was something that was inexplicable to me. I think one point, I wouldn't exactly say in my defense, because nothing is really in my defense. I didn't think I was on the call. I didn't think other people could see me.
You thought that you had turned off your camera?
Correct. I thought that I had turned off the Zoom call. Now,
I don't know about. I think he gets a thrill from. I think he's an exhibitionist. Look, like, how else does he get back on TV after that? Like, he's fucking into it. He wants people to see him whack his willy. That's what I'm saying. He should have left CNN and started a Pornhub channel. Get you an OnlyFans, sir.
That's not a defense. This was deeply moronic and indefensible, but I mean, that is part of that.
I just, knowing that, I can't have your legal analysis. And, like, not that there was anything wrong with your legal analysis before this incident. I just don't know that I can watch you without, like, thinking about it.
Part of the story. And, you know, I have spent the 7 subsequent months, miserable months in my life, I can certainly confess, trying to be a better person. I mean, in therapy, trying to do some public service, working in a food bank, which I certainly...
Well, now, like, we shouldn't be ashamed of our sexuality. It's okay. It's okay to masturbate. The gross part about this is, like, the violation of trust of your coworkers in a professional setting. That's the only problem with what you did, sir. Masturbating in the comfort of your own home is totally fine and nothing to be ashamed of and nothing you need to do any kind of penance for. Good on you for doing charity work and what have you, and going to therapy if you feel that you need it. However, we shouldn't shame people over their natural fucking urges. The only thing you have to apologize for is the fact that you violated your fucking coworkers' trust. And I don't know that there's not something like you were kind of into it and you were hoping that your coworkers saw you. That's my thought process on it, knowing pervy people the way I do.
Working on a new book about the Oklahoma City bombing, but I am trying to become the kind of person that people can trust again. I'm
sure you've replayed that embarrassing moment over and over Many times. Have you?
I think he's into it. He has totally played it over and over again. He's gotten off to it a few times.
About what it must have been like to be on the receiving end of that Zoom call?
Well, I haven't just thought about it. I've spoken to several of my former colleagues at The New Yorker about it, and, you know, they were shocked and appalled. I think they realized that this was not intended for them. I think they realized that this was something that I would immediately regret, as I certainly did. And it was that day that I began apologizing, and that is something that I have tried to continue to do, both publicly and privately. You know, we've covered a lot of political scandals.
Yes. I wouldn't call Toobin lefty at all. I wouldn't call anybody that's appearing on commercial media, I wouldn't call lefty at all.
I've said the words, now get off my back. That's exactly what I've tried not to do. I mean, I have tried.
I'd call him a shit lib.
To say how sorry I am. Sincerely, in all seriousness. Above all, I am sorry to my wife and to my family, but I'm also sorry to the people on the Zoom call. I'm sorry to my former colleagues at The New Yorker. I'm sorry to my current, fortunately still colleagues at CNN. And I'm sorry to the people who read my work and who watched me on CNN.
I still think you don't have a career going forward, that people are only going to see you as the masturbating bear.
I'm very privileged and very lucky that I'm going to be able to try to do that.
You should have started an OnlyFans.
This whole incident is that for decades you have covered the bad judgment and sexual proclivities of public figures and politicians like Bill Clinton and
isn't it ironic,
Elliot
don't you think?
Spitzer and Donald Trump, and I could go on. And so, you know, of course it begs the question, why didn't you have better judgment?
Because I didn't have better judgment. Because I'm a flawed human being who makes mistakes. And there is no defense for my conduct. The only issue is what should be the consequences. And The New Yorker made one decision about the consequences. CNN made a different decision, fortunately, for which I'm very grateful. But I am not going to come up here and split hairs and try to come.
Okay, you're CNN. You're making a decision. Your management making a decision on Jeffrey Toobin. Are you like, we need to see the Zoom call. We need to see if he meant it or not. Did they ask to see it? Did they get the New Yorker people to send it over? And how embarrassing is that?
Come up with justifications or explanations. It was wrong, it was stupid, and I'm trying to be a better person.
I do want to get to what the New Yorker decision was and the consequences. So after you had worked there for 27 years, you were fired, they said, after an internal investigation. And in an internal memo, one of the executives there said,
juicy.
I am writing to share with you that our investigation regarding Jeffrey Toobin is complete, and as a result, he is no longer affiliated with our company. Do you know what else they found? I
do, actually. I was told very specifically by the people involved that they looked at my entire career at The New Yorker, 27 years, and found that there had been no complaints about me, no issues, no other, this was not the straw that broke the camel's back. It was just this incident. And I was certainly relieved, though not surprised, that that's what they found. And, but yet, nevertheless, they made the decision to get rid of me, which, needless to say, was heartbreaking for me.
So you're saying there will be no surprises after this that will come out?
There are no surprises out there about my conduct, that I am worried that there is there's a skeleton that's going to be found. I live in the world. I know social media, what the reactions are likely to be. I hope they will be at least mixed. But, and so people can claim what they want, but I don't think there is anything further that's going to come out.
Do you think?
I don't know what you mean by pull to Perry Mason.
I am the worst person.
Is that a reference to the new show? I have not watched yet.
No, obviously, I loved The New Yorker. I loved working there. I felt like I was a very good contributor to that magazine for a very long time, and I thought this punishment was excessive. But look,
That's true. Why was he more sorry to his wife? Well, embarrassing her, I guess.
To be the judge.
But it's really the violation was on the colleagues.
I thought it was an excessive punishment. I am incredibly grateful to CNN for.
Wait, Perry Mason did a trench coat flash? What? I'm completely confused.
For them to get rid of me and for CNN to keep me.
Other people have weighed in.
Yes, indeed.
Late night talk shows have had a field day.
Hey, you know what?
Well, of course.
2 segments on Saturday Night Live about me. That's like, anyway. I'm sorry.
Not 1, but 2.
Did you see it? Did you watch
I
that?
actually did not watch it. I sort of read transcripts and I guess I saw a little YouTube of it. I try. One thing about all this is I've never thought of myself, even when I was a prosecutor, as someone who was someone who was punish everyone.
Not just Cutter.
Of the law, and also, as a journalist,
I see what you did there.
That not every crime deserves the death penalty. So I don't think there's a lot of hypocrisy involved in a claim for leniency on my part, but it is true that people had fun with this, and I am enough a person in the world to know people were going to have fun with it.
Well, I mean, on that note, even O.J. Simpson took a swipe at you, and
even OJ. Holy shit! In all fairness, I did a freaking news about it. And I played the Divinals. When I think about you, I touch myself.
Butt of jokes.
Yeah, like the 70s detective show, but like the only thing I remember about it was the theme. It had a really good theme song. It was on while I was a kid, like when grandmother would watch it and I was playing with Legos on the floor and shit. That kind of thing. Many a man flashed themselves while wearing a trench. Like, that happened, that it was a common thread on the show. Were there a rash of perverts in the 70s? It was like the pervert panic instead of the satanic panic.
If you think that will somehow color your legal analysis in the future.
I really don't think so. My dad used to say something. He used to say, you can judge a person by their enemies. And if
you shouldn't bring up your dad in your apology for masturbating, sir.
Well, Jeffrey, on that note.
Welcome back.
On to the news?
Sure, let's go.
Okay. Let's do that.
Oh, it's still awkward.
You heard me talking about that the judge compared the use of the AR.
Oh, so now we're just going right into the... We're going to spend 7 or 8 minutes on masturbation. All right, let's talk about the assault weapons ban. Guys, that kind of shit only happens on my show. That's the shit we do on this show. Talk about people masturbating and then talk about assault weapons bans. Oh, fuck. All right, this morning on the Hill, new host Emily, I don't even remember her fucking last name, Jablonski or some shit like that. She had Matt Taibbi on. She was having a lot of fun with it. I would have too. The spank bank jar. Well, now, knowing what we know about executives at news organizations that has come out, Matt Lauer, Charlie Rose, apparently, it's just one big game of grab ass behind the scenes at news organizations. It wasn't that way at the local station I worked for, I can assure you. Yeah, a commercial break or something. Seriously, it's so fucking awkward. Yeah, the dude, Garrison Keillor on Prairie Home Companion, yeah. All of them just playing grab ass behind the scenes before they tell you about, the latest tragedy. But I mean, like, fuck it, I was a news person as well, so was it to, like, perverts or prone to the fucking position or something? But yeah, I would have gone to break, ran some sort of package. Fox has a very rapey type, though. They moved on from the rapey assholes to the Nazi assholes. All right, so package. Well, when I say package, I mean like some pre-produced news roll with a journalist saying some shit to cut the fucking tension so they can come back and actually do their jobs. I don't know that like I would have let him come on and just do that apology, say, all right, bye, Jeffrey, welcome back, and then have him on a couple days later. Let people like me get our fucking jollies on about it, and then he can just show back up and he's, you know, doing his normal shit.